this tree was designed before, and now I will just edit the tree. It's kind of elegant tree, something like Literati, and I'll not change a lot. I was thinking about maybe to remove top or something like that, but I think it's better to keep everything and to play with these crowns. Maybe it will be something like a crown, not like a branch, this one maybe, or even this one. And this tree will be something like some tree that leaning like this near above some lake or something like that, that kind of feeling.
Okay. Yes, I agree to this. This is a Scots Pine, a collected one, very old. This is what they look like if you're lucky. Has already been styled, so can we now improve this? Yes, we can. I wonder whether we really want all of this as it is. Is that not a bit too much of this deadwood here? And then I want to clean some things. We nowadays don't anymore take off all the bark as we did a few years ago. We leave some bark, but then we make at least half gin. Why is that? Because then it looks thinner and older and nicer. This, I really wonder whether this is good. This is natural, but not everything that's natural looks good. Just look into the mirror. And I would prefer this to be away totally. You see, if I take it away, I think it's much, much cleaner and clearer. This is just ugly. If you like it, fine. But maybe then you should choose a new front.
Can you rotate it for 180 just to see the front was?
You see why this is ugly?
Yes, some inverse taper is there.
Yeah, there.
And it's too straight.
Yeah, so this is an obvious candidate for me. Do not totally cut off, but let's 5 centimeters and then make some shari. This here is interesting, but it's really crossing that line. I wonder whether you could cut it off here, and then it will be more clear. You see, this crossing. Or you dramatically bend that. Is it possible? Yes, it is. If this is wet and an old wet wood, you can put fire on it and pull it down and bring this down here. Okay, you must be very careful of not burning the live crown. But actually, if you put a strong fire there and at the same time pull it over here, this will be fixed and will not go back again. Possible. Very dramatic. Or you say, no, well, we cut it off anyway, we make it much shorter. The rest is pretty clear. You have a crown here. It's a bit high. We could take this whole thing off and make this a crown. You see, this what I'm holding now could be dead. And this could be the head. Make it smaller. So very often, or usually in most of the cases, if you see a chance of making a tree shorter, it's a good idea, because the shorter, the stronger it will look and the thicker the trunk. Now, with one exception, and that's if you have a Literati sort of tree, because then you want it high and elegant. And if you make that shorter, the trunk will look thicker, and so it will lose the Literati feeling. Okay, so maybe we do the opposite. We say, can we not cut off this and just make this the crown? And this is, now we're losing the lowest branch. Well, no, we're not. This is the lowest branch. You see, we bring him in like here. Or we say, oh, this is the lowest branch, but now we do this. We give him several stages, treat this as if it were a cascade. Here we do the luxury of creating a new crown, because that's what trees actually do. They dare to have to form a crown on top of a branch sometimes. Okay, so this is a freestyle anyway, because you're allowed officially in Literati style to do almost anything. Huh? That's what I say. I only said that. Okay, that sounds good, but that's for me. That's true on all trees. But on Literati, you can actually have a crown here. You can have a crown here, 1, 2, and if that's not enough, you make crown number 4. Now that's an awful lot of things that I'm throwing at you in order to confuse you, and you have to now sort this out, and we really want to see what your decision will be. Good luck. More nice and more quiet, not so much movement.
I like it from 180 when the long gene is behind. Now it's crossing the front line.
Which one do you like? This one here?
He likes the other side.
Like from here?
Yes, that.
No, they are going like parallel. The long gene and the trunk are not crossing.
Okay, so you can totally reverse it and cut and leave everything but cut off this one, and this is now the front. Good, yeah, wonderful, yeah, possible, huh? Possible. But then there's too much up here. You must take something off because you want to show the elegance of the trunk. And if there's too heavy, too much green, too much optical weight, then you're losing this elegance. So we have to take off a few things here if we use this side. Very interesting piece of material. Many options. Okay. Any other thoughts here?
Yes, Lucas.
No, I just then told to Andrija that he wouldn't cut too much because it was reported in spring, but I think it can bear some reductions fine. But not 90%, it would be, yeah? Too much.
This is not easy.
Yeah, not easy.
So take your time. Any other thoughts?
Why you think it's like that? When this is maybe one of the possible solutions to make it more like literati and more like naturalistic. So,
Well, literati,
what are your thoughts on that?
in my world, literati is a naturalistic tree. But it's a special form of the naturalistic tree. It's the one that has the slim, long trunk and the small crown. But the same rules that apply to literati, I apply to all trees. And the rule is simply anything goes as long as it looks good, which sounds like freedom. Oh yeah, but many people don't know how to handle freedom. They would rather be told what to do, and that's how the literati style, by the way, developed. These old men, after their retirement, they went away from the masses down in the valley. They went up to the mountains, and the masses down there, they would do nice bonsai with flowers and everything. And the guys up in the mountains, they also wanted to do bonsai, but they were so way above the masses down in the valleys. They wanted to do something else, and they looked around and they saw these natural trees, which we now call literati, the slim pine trees right there, and said that's what we want our bonsai to look like, and this is how that started, and up to today they look like these trees up there. And now these trees up there, they had no clue what they did down in the valley, and they were very much different in general appearance and style as mainstream bonsai at that time. Okay, and up to today, it's still very much different than the other trees, and I find it interesting that especially beginners find it difficult to understand literati. And even people who have done bonsai for a long while and know a lot, and they have a strange connection with literati because that doesn't fit their world. They feel that, and the truth is that's exactly true. That's the antithesis to the original Orthodox bonsai world. It's showing that there's another totally other way of doing. The only thing that they did, they only concentrated this on this slim pine tree. You can also emulate this tree with a juniper, which then looks like a slim pine tree, but it's still sort of the same thing. And I'm saying, well, you can use this for everything. Every single tree, whatever it is, can look like in nature and does not have to look like a bonsai. It's that simple. Well, is that better? No, it's my way of doing that. Okay, if you said no, I don't like classical sort of bonsai. That's fine. That's fine with me. But please let me also be fine with what I'm doing. Yes.
Walter, how much foliage are you thinking typically for a literati, right? Because right now with the slim, elegant trunk, it's too much optical weight, right? Especially on the top. So what is your typical, thought for how much foliage you want to have on literati?
Well, I would take about 70% of the green,
Okay.
wherever that is. 70% of the green has to go. Very often that's a whole branch, or some part of a branch, or whatever. So there's many ways. The more green you take off, the more the trunk will shine. And there's many options. It's a wonderful tree in that respect. It has many hundreds of possibilities. It's an extremely difficult tree for somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience, because he's wading in hundreds of options now, which one to choose. That's so difficult. So which one to choose? That's like, I am looking for a woman, and then I see all these ladies there, and then which one to choose? You know what? One day it does click, and that's her. And I have no clue how this happened. And that's how you do this here. You wonder about the possibilities, and that if it makes click, then that's what you decide. It doesn't really matter which one anyway, as long as you do something here. Okay, I really like this sort of tree for this masterclass. This is not for beginners. This tree is very difficult. Possible it is, yes.
But then you hide this nice place between the main trunk and the gin. I mean, I think I would like to see it more clearly.
Well,
I like the line.
Well, you say this is a good option, but then you put this over so that you can move this, or you can move it out in front.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, anyway.
But I'm not.
Well, I like what you just said, and if you want to do that, that's fine with me. But of course, you look at it for a long while, because there's many other options in there, and that's a good experience really. To what options are in there, and which one is the best. And the best is a feeling. And I cannot do your feeling. You have to find out yourself. But better, before you decide, speak to the owner, okay?
So you remove the top, yeah?
Yes, I removed the branch.
The big one.
Yes, the big one. And now I have two crowns, maybe something like that.
And you are not bending the big gin, yeah? It
Which
will
one?
stay.
Like this?
The big gin there.
No,
The second
I don't,
trunk.
Because now it's going in similar direction, right, like a trunk. So maybe I will bend this, go up. Maybe I will bend this to go down, something like that.
You should take.
Tighten the wire, yeah?
Like that. Okay. Not the farmer's boy. Let Thomas do it. He's a cook, you know.
You see?
He can just grab the fire. Cooks can do that. Cooks do that. Does it work? Like this?
Like this? Fine?
Fine?
Yeah,
More?
it's better, yeah. It's definitely
See?
better.
But that will not hold. We'll still probably have to do something.
Careful.
Díky, jo, pozor. Ty to nepšákne.
I like the use of the dustpan. Great.
Be careful. It's more Czechoslovakian.
You look like an angel. Directly from heaven. Andrija, so you think you're finished, right? Okay, can you please tell us if, in a few sentences what you did and why you did this?
First, this tree was a much bigger tree, and it was a kind of literati that is very silent, like a tree above some lake. And my thoughts was in the beginning I will just edit the tree and continue the story, but in one moment I saw that tree can be changed a lot and make much more drama and make it smaller and make it older. And I get that with all these genes and change position, remove the top and put much more movement in the crown. And I think that tree now looks completely different with all these genes and sharis. I remove some inverse tapers and I get the tree now looks older and it have stories, and I think it's that is now new life for that tree. Yes, something like that.
Okay. Yes. Andrija Zokic is known worldwide for having one of the best collections of broadleaf deciduous trees in the world. Okay. And he is the broadleaf deciduous star around the world. He only owns one single good conifer because he never ever found good ones, and he only collected all his trees, and they were all deciduous trees. So he has not much experience with this sort of material. And he asked in the masterclass to do this sort of thing and not what he's used to. So in a way, was almost a beginner for conifers, okay? That was about 2 or 3 years ago, okay? Now you see what a beginner does. Andrija, this is by far the best conifer that you ever did. And that is as good as it can be. I don't think that there are many people who could do any better. Of course, different. This tree before had so many options that it was almost difficult to choose the right one, because there were at least 50 good options. Okay, you chose this one, which is more compact, a much smaller tree, but much more drama and much more expression. Now people will say, yeah, but this doesn't look so natural. This looks more like the Literati tree that we know. Thank you very much. Yes, because the Literati tree are naturalistic style, and they are supposed to look like real trees and not like bonsai. Okay, is this a Literati? Some people will say, well, a real Literati does this and that. Don't care about this. Whatever you want to call it Literati, call it sort of Literati, semi-Literati, call it naturalistic, doesn't matter. It is a very old pine tree that stands up there in the mountain and has a lot of age, but still very elegant. It aged very well, and it stands up there and does not have to care about anything anymore, because she has seen everything. It's a she. I think it's a she. Okay, and she looks like that and says, okay, all this mundane world, I don't care anymore. I am happy. And this is what's shown here, and this will go into a very small roundish pot, maybe also on a slab. That's fun, and I think, basically, if this ages, That's going to take about 2 years or so. This will be a very, very, very good conifer. I really congratulate you.
Bravo.
Thank you.